Long before kingdoms rose and prophets walked the earth, humanity entered a time of deep corruption and violence. The world had become consumed by wickedness. Hope seemed distant, but among the growing darkness, one man stood apart. His name was Noah. While others ignored God and followed their own desires, Noah chose faith and obedience. And through him would come one of the most extraordinary events recorded in Scripture, a flood so great that it would reshape the world forever. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to hear a particular story, leave a comment below. As generations passed after Adam and Eve, humanity multiplied across the earth. But with growth came corruption. Violence spread through societies. Evil filled human hearts. Pride and wickedness became common throughout the world. Scripture describes a time when nearly every thought of mankind had become corrupted. The earth itself seemed overwhelmed by sin. And seeing the destruction humanity had brought upon itself, God declared that judgment would come. Yet even in that dark age, one man found favor in the eyes of God. Noah was described as righteous among the people of his generation. This did not mean he was perfect. But unlike the world around him, Noah walked faithfully with God. He lived differently. While others pursued violence and corruption, Noah chose obedience. And because of this, God entrusted him with an extraordinary task, one that would require immense faith, patience, and perseverance. For Noah was commanded to prepare for a disaster the world had never seen before. God revealed to Noah that a great flood would come upon the earth. Waters would rise, judgment would fall. But Noah and his family would be spared. God instructed Noah to build an enormous ark, a massive vessel unlike anything humanity had ever constructed. Specific measurements were given. Rooms were prepared, supplies gathered. The task would take years. And during those long years of labor, Noah remained faithful to a command that must have seemed impossible to those around him. Day after day, Noah worked upon the ark. Massive wooden beams were raised. Tools echoed across the landscape. The structure grew larger with each passing season. To many observers, the project must have appeared absurd, a giant vessel standing far from any sea. Yet Noah continued. Faith often requires obedience long before understanding arrives. And while the world carried on without concern, the ark slowly became a visible warning of what was to come. As the ark grew larger, so did the ridicule surrounding Noah. People mocked him. They laughed at his warnings and dismissed his faith. Life continued as normal. Markets remained busy. Celebrations carried on. Few believed judgment could truly come. But Noah remained steadfast despite rejection and isolation. His obedience was not built upon public approval. It was built upon trust. And eventually the years of preparation would come to an end. Then came one of the most extraordinary moments in biblical history. Animals began arriving at the ark. From across the land they came, great and small, wild and gentle. Pairs entered the vessel exactly as God had commanded. The sight must have astonished those watching nearby. What once seemed foolish now carried an unsettling sense of inevitability. And as Noah, his family, and the animals entered the ark, the door was finally shut. Then the rain began. At first, perhaps it seemed ordinary, but soon the skies unleashed relentless torrents of water, unlike anything humanity had ever experienced. The fountains of the deep burst open. Floodwaters rose across the earth. Panic spread as rivers overflowed, and entire regions disappeared beneath the rising waters. The world that had ignored Noah's warnings now faced catastrophe, and upon the waters, the ark alone remained secure. For 40 days and 40 nights, rain continued to fall upon the earth. The floodwaters covered mountains and swallowed entire civilizations beneath the sea. Inside the ark, Noah and his family endured the endless storms surrounded by darkness, uncertainty, and isolation. Outside, the old world vanished beneath the waters. Inside, life was preserved, and through the chaos of judgment, the ark became a symbol of protection, survival, and hope. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. Within the ark, Noah and his family cared for countless animals while waiting for the waters to recede. The world outside remained hidden beneath endless waters. Perhaps there were moments of fear, moments of exhaustion, moments of uncertainty. Yet Noah continued trusting in God's promise, and eventually, after many long months, the ark came to rest upon the mountains of Ararat. To test whether the earth had become dry again, Noah released birds from the ark. Finally, a dove returned, carrying an olive leaf. The floodwaters were retreating. At last, Noah and his family stepped onto dry ground once more. The storm had ended, and in gratitude, Noah built an altar and worshipped God. Humanity had been given a new beginning. After the flood, God established a covenant with Noah and his descendants. And as a sign of that promise, a rainbow appeared in the sky. Never again would a flood destroy all life upon the earth. Noah's story became far more than a tale of survival. It became a reminder of faith during uncertainty, obedience in the face of ridicule, and hope after judgment. And for generations to come, the ark and the rainbow would remain enduring symbols of covenant and redemption.